talk about how many of you made money, as in created your own money. Ishi, did you want to show us some of your money?
I made 3.
Let's see.
This is 5 cents.
Oh, look at that. That's really nice. Beautiful.
On the back, I have.
Oh, and you did something on the back. How nice. That's excellent.
And I even have this one too.
And that's totally different. I can see that.
And this is 25 cents.
25 cents. Excellent. That's great.
And this is the other one I made.
Josiah, I see you. Just a second. I'll get to you. Oh, that's totally different too. And how much is that one worth?
10.
10 cents. So you have 3 different values of money. That's excellent. Good job, Ishi. Thank you for sharing that.
I even have a real cent, which is from New Mexico.
Oh, and so you have an actual one. Hold it still so it'll. Nice.
It is from New Mexico.
New Mexico.
And it seems like it is 2008.
Uh-huh. Good. So you could do a rubbing of that one. Did you remember how we did that?
Yeah, I'm doing it, but it's not working.
Oh, okay. Sometimes you have to play around with how hard you do it on the paper. And so you can just practice.
Yeah, I did some
If
rubbing.
it ends up too dark, sometimes you do it a little bit lighter and try that. Josiah?
I couldn't make my money because the internet wasn't working for me.
Hi, Mrs. Crombie. This is Alicia, Josiah's mom, and we did it cut out last week, and I didn't get the details. I saw that we're going to make this a weekly class.
Right.
I didn't see the update as far as what to bring or what to be prepared for. So we are a little bit behind, but we're interested in making some money and want to know if you could send us an email as far as what
I can just tell you. I'll tell you right now. We'll just review that just a little bit because maybe some other people missed that. Okay. So we'll just put it on the recording right now. What we did was we are doing something that's sort of fun, and that is there's a couple different ways that you can make money. One of them is making money as in creating your own sort of money. One of the things is you can get some beans like this. And we just got some lima beans, which are big white beans like this. And I got some pinto beans, which look like this. Oh, it's a little harder to see. I'm actually what I'm gonna do is I'm going to share the screen now so you can see we'll try the ImageMate here then. Here we go. Okay, so these are pinto beans, and here's the lima beans. Maybe if I make that better. And then I also had some that were just kidney beans, which are really dark. And what we did was we just got paint. Let me try making this a little darker in here. Maybe a little darker still. I'll be sitting here in the dark, but you'll be able to see any better. That's a little bit better, huh? And so what I did was I just took some paint pens, or you could take paint, or you could even take color. This was like one of these paint pens. And I just took one of those, or you could take regular paint. It even works if you just have color markers on these. And I just painted them. And so that was one idea that we had, was just to paint those. And I had a silver Sharpie. And on one of them, I just took a silver Sharpie and worked on just coloring it like that. And that worked pretty well on one of these white beans, see? So that was pretty fun. And we did that, and we called them, you know, just because we talked about the fact that way back before they actually started stamping money with real gold or real silver, they just used shells for money. And so we were just sort of making our own. And then we talked about how then gold and silver, once it was found and it was a precious stone, then they started making money, and they imprinted the ruler on the front of it. And then I showed some money that I had, and in this box that I had from Egypt. And so we showed different kinds of coins. And one of the things then that Ishi was showing you was that you can take, and we looked at how paper money then has different images on it, just like the coins do. And coins, we talked about the fact that coins can have images on them that are fun to create. With paper, you can take and do, just like Ishi did, you can take a pencil and put the paper underneath it. I mean, on top of it, and take a pencil and hold the paper down, and then draw on top of it just lightly. And then you will get the image of the coin. It's just like magically appears. And when you do this, what I'm kind of doing is I'm using the side of my pencil instead of the top part of my pencil, because that if I use the top part of my pencil, then it makes it too dark. So I use kind of the side. I don't make it top down like that, like right on top. I'm kind of going on the side like that, and that makes it turn out a little bit better. So that's one of them. And then what you can do is cut it out. And you can try different sorts of pencils. That might not work quite as well as a different kind of pencil. So you can try different kind of pencils too. And see, this one might not work as well as other ones. This one maybe is coming out too dark. So try different ones and see, and you can try rubbing them harder or softer and see. If I rub it really hard, what happens? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it works better. So you just experiment and see what happens. Oh, now the coin is moving, so that didn't help. So you just practice and see. That didn't work because I was rubbing it too hard and the coin started moving along. So practice doing it different ways and with different kinds of coins. And then what Ishi did was she cut them out, and then she also added some different things to them, didn't you, Ishi? To make her own coins. So that's the different thing that we did.
I got a real coin and just traced that outer on a piece of paper, and then cut it out and drew whatever I wanted to.
Right, right. And then the other thing we were talking about is you can make your own paper money. And one of the ways you can do that is you can use a program like Publisher if you want to, and you can put an image on it with Publisher, Or you could just draw your own, like Ishi did to start with. And I don't know if you did this with paper or not, but you could just fold your own, whatever size you want, like this, and cut it out to whatever size you want and draw your own picture on it. And then you could just decide on the front how much you want it to be. Look at different dollar bills and decide, you know, some of them have the denomination up here. You can put how much you want it to be. Then you can put a picture in here, whatever your picture is. You could take a picture of yourself and put it in there on maybe like a Google slide. You could put a picture of yourself and then put some money denomination on there. So you can create your own dollar bill or $10 bill and have fun with that. Or if you don't want to do it on the computer, you can just do it like this and decide that you want to create it however you want and draw your own picture. So you can make paper money too. And so that will be a fun thing to do, to create your own money for your own community. All right. Josiah, did you have a question?
Thank you for showing me.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. So that's the thing we're doing for money. Now, one of the things that we talked about in Westlandia is we talked about all the different things that he was making, and he was earning money because he was making different things. Do you remember that he was making clothes? He was making hats. He was making suntan lotion, and he was selling those things for money. So that's one of the reasons we were creating money. Well, one of the things he was doing when he was making the clothes is he was weaving things, wasn't he? He was weaving those hats. Do you remember that? And he was weaving the clothes. He was having those nice clothes that were cool, remember, instead of having to wear the shirts and the pants that were pretty hot in the summertime, he was wearing those nice, cool clothes. So what I wanted to show you now is I wanted to show you something about weaving so that we can do an activity for weaving this week. So I'm going to share with you, some of you may have done something like this before, but I thought I would share with you two different ways. Oops, I didn't want to go back there. Two different ways that you can weave. I don't know why that keeps going back there. When I'm doing, oh, I know why. Okay. So this way you may have done paper weaving before, but I wanted to show this to you just in case you haven't done paper weaving before. So here's a little video about paper weaving.
I have done paper weaving before, and even weaved a paper heart.
You have? Well, that's neat. Okay, so this will be something that you're familiar with.
Yeah, and but I forgot how to weave them. I forgot how to weave a mat, but I remember how to weave a heart.
Okay. Well, then this will be helpful to you, and then you can weave a mat this week if you want to. And then I'm going to show you how to do it on cardboard. Okay, so two different ways to weave.
You can make all kinds of things with it.
This is the heart I made.
Paper clips in. So if you notice, it's got a pattern on it, and it's kind of like over, under, over, under. The pattern looks interesting, and it makes this really strong too. So weaving is a pretty cool thing. We're going to do it with paper today. So what you're going to need is...
This is the heart I made with paper weaving.
Uh-huh.
Piece of paper. Some strips.
I cannot
of
see
paper.
it.
Oh, you can't?
Good.
Okay.
I do not share the screen.
can
Okay.
see that all too.
Okay, let me see. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So what he's saying is you need these 2 different colors of paper. So when you're at home, you need 2 colors of paper.
Is a loom, Loom, just a big piece of paper, some strips of paper, glue stick for later, and some scissors. Cut the paper, not your fingers. Okay, here's how we start. We're gonna take our loom, our big piece of paper, fold it in half the hamburger way, not the hot dog way, the hamburger way. And find the folded side. Here's the folded side. These are the edges. We're gonna cut into the folded side, like this. Not the edges, the folded side. Okay, so find the folded side and just cut some strips, but not all the way through. Don't cut all the way to the end. Stop. Cut, 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 cut. Stop. Cut, 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 cut. Stop. Cut, 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 cut. Stop. Cut, 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 cut. Stop. And one more. And if you didn't cut all the way to the end and you cut through the folded side, you should have this. This is your loom. We're going to weave our paper through this. So I picked red just so it'd stand out against the blue. It doesn't matter which way you start, but here's the pattern. Over, under, over, under, over, under. So if I start over, the next one's going to be under. See, I went over this one, so I'm going under this one. So this one's going to be over. So I'll go over the next one, under this one, over that one. You guessed it, under this one, and over the last one. And I should be all set. So see how it's a pattern? Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. And then I can slide it down and make room for more strips. So if I started over on this one, the next one's going to be under. It's going to be the opposite. And that's what locks the weaving together and makes it really strong. So I started over, so the next one's going to be under. So I'm going to go under and then over. Be careful not to skip any. You might go under 2 or over 2, and then you messed it up and you got to redo that one. So just watch out. So under, over, under, and then you can slide it down. And if you look, it's almost like a checkerboard pattern and the corners touch. So that's pretty cool. And if this was over, this is under, the next one's going to be over. So this will start over. It'll go under, over, under, over, under, over. Slide it down and just keep going until you fill it up. And when you filled it up and a teacher checked it, you showed it to a teacher, you can get a glue stick and we can glue the loose ends down. Make sure you get both sides. But that's it. That's how you do paper weaving. Over, under, over, under. Every time you do a strip, make sure you do the opposite. Paper weaving. Ooh. Ah.
Okay, so that is the project that you can work on for this week. And so do you have any questions about that? That's a fun project that you can work on. And the reason that paper weaving is a good place to start is because at the very beginning, he showed that, you see, weaving is something that takes place all the time. And oh, hold on, I'm going to show you.
Okay.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Hold on. I have a good example of weaving for you. Oops. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So weaving can be a very beautiful, oh, and in the background, I could have just pointed in the background. I didn't need to go anywhere. See the thing that has lights in it? The thing that it's holding is weaving. So weaving is something that is used all the time. It can be very strong and beautiful. And the example that he showed you was weaving, and it has a pattern over, under, over, under. So I'm going to, on Schoology, not only will I post this recording, I will post the link to the video, and I'll post another link to weaving that also has paper weaving in it, where they show you, the only thing that he didn't show you that I think is helpful is to measure the lines to start with where you cut, and to measure the strips. And I think that makes it easier so that it turns out looking really even. So I'm going to share with you a link for that. And then this week, you can go and make a really nice weaving mat. And that will be a fun thing to do, I think. Okay. So look for that posted on Schoology. And you can have fun with your first community industry that you could get paid for with your community money currency that you're making. That will be fun, huh? Okay, any questions? Then I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.